This is realistic methods to confront and destroy a narcissist once and for all. Is there a limit to the malice and manipulation that narcissists are capable of? To what extent do you believe this to be true? How to remain one step ahead of them so that you no longer feel threatened or subjugated? I sincerely hope this video clarifies the situation and addresses all of your concerns. I'd like to begin by introducing myself to everyone present. There are 5 tried and true techniques to shine brighter in any conversation than a narcissist, and we'll go over them today. First, I would like to know the last time you attempted to outwit a narcissist. If so, could you describe what transpired and whether the results met your expectations? By sharing your experiences and providing feedback in the comments, you may provide encouragement to other survivors. Do not leave until after the 5th one, as it will be the most fascinating and significant. Stop projecting your own ideals onto the narcissist and instead concentrate on their actual traits. The greatest pitfall is the difficulty in reconciling the narcissist's presence during happy and sad times. You know a narcissist is bad, but you can't help but be attracted to them because they promise transient relief from your constant suffering. You continue to justify narcissistic behavior on the basis of cognitive and emotional dissonance, and you cling to what I would consider hopeless due to a dearth of alternatives. Despite their poor behavior, you assume that they are decent people at heart. I believe you have entirely missed the point. There's a chance you'll give them more chances than they deserve, giving in to their manipulation and unwittingly engaging in gaslighting. It is not a prudent way of thinking when co-parenting or engaged in a covert code war with another parent. The spell will be broken when you cease expecting them to conform to an idealized image of yourself or the relationship. They see no value in friendship, collaboration, open communication, and regard because they do not believe they can build upon or contribute to anything. They are oblivious to the opportunities present, given who they have shown themselves to be. Any effort made to fulfill this vow would be in vain. The genuine individual is the one whose dark side shocked and stunned you. Consider the situation from a distance and search for patterns in their interactions. Enjoy the pleasures of existence, seeing how they transformed from angels to demons in an effort to keep you connected to them, and how every joyful memory of your time together was tainted by their mistreatment. Accepting the actuality may be challenging, but it will ultimately lead to liberation. After establishing that they are a malevolent force, you will always be in a superior position. Don't be deceived by their pleasant demeanor. You can rely on them to demonstrate the same callousness in front of your children. In the midst of a heated code conflict, they may resort to extreme measures. The more you can accept them for who they truly are, the more control you will have over the relationship, and the better you will be able to manage everything they throw at you. Once you have identified the narcissist, they can no longer injure you. In addition, a phenomenon known as cognitive resonance occurs alongside trauma bonding and traumatic experiences. The second rule is to respond to the narcissist without engaging in conversation with them. You are fully competent of handling this situation. You can avoid being emotionally manipulated by understanding the other person's motivations and the benefit they stand to gain from manipulating you. Once you establish the connection and begin to respond instead of react, the narcissist will no longer appreciate provocation. An example of this is reading a narcissist's spiteful message in which they place all the responsibility on you and make you feel responsible for their problems. Your response should be to become the service provider they seek. They insist that you provide an explanation for your actions, so you feel compelled to do so. This is how you get lured even deeper into the vortex. If you were responding, you would instead examine the message for the most pertinent information. You may choose to respond to one parent's text message only if it influences the children's pick-up or drop-off times, while ignoring the other and archiving their texts as evidence in the event of a dispute. You owe it to yourself to develop emotional regulation and logical judgment. It is best not to rely solely on your emotions when communicating with a narcissist. Consider your intelligence to be an unfaltering map. Try connecting with your emotions for a more narcissistic boost. Mastering emotion regulation will make you the worst nightmare of narcissists. As a third guideline, establish visible and firmly anchored limits. Please hear me out. Having no limits is equivalent to self-mutilation. I recognize how difficult it can be to set boundaries with a narcissist, but it is in your best interest to do so. You must do everything possible to tame this untamed animal. Your antagonist is a narcissist who is also a jackass and a jerkface. Because if you give in, they will grow from 1 centimeter to 1 meter. Give them an inch, and they will fill it with something else. If they cannot respect your personal space, make it obvious that you will not relinquish it easily. You are laying the foundation for much suffering in your own existence. They cannot be relied upon to reverence your majesty. Expecting something from a narcissist is a waste of effort. It is up to your discretion and the safety of your offspring if you choose to visit. They will dependably show up every day of the week, regardless of who or what is present. They will return to your home as if nothing has changed, settling in and treating you as they did before. Determine the underlying cause of your inability to set limits and work to address it. To effectively state no and keep the narcissist at bay, you must identify and address the underlying cause of your inability to do so. Also, if possible, establish distinct boundaries regarding the types of behavior you will and will not tolerate. Make them pay the price for their misconduct. Try not to take efficiency too seriously. In this situation, pardon is out of the question. Make sure they know how to reach you and how often they can see the children if you are divorcing and sharing custody. 4. Do not take their lure. This narcissist is amplifying the blame game significantly. Because it satisfies their need for superiority, they avoid responsibilities and make others feel accountable for issues they do not wish to manage. Try not to take narcissists' accusations personally. As a means of rejection and deflection, try to dismiss it and act as if it doesn't bother you. The concealed truths in their undertakings are revealed. If they can transfer the responsibility to you, they will feel better about themselves. That alone is a significant cause for concern. They may not even bother to hear your side of the story before making assumptions about your parenting skills and techniques, or even inventing false information to make you appear bad. Prove them incorrect by emphasizing the importance of raising responsible children. Let them express themselves freely, as they have nothing to contribute. Here is an alternative viewpoint on the situation. Why would you consider listening to someone who is emotionally distant and has a strong sense of self? Their perception of you is entirely based on their own preconceived notions and biases, making it extremely inaccurate. Even though they deny it, you are aware of their true nature. This expands on the initial point, which is to embrace them as they are. After defeating them, you will be able to laugh at their expense. We have reached the 5th and final point. Utilize their weaknesses as a source of strength. To see the narcissist as he or she truly is, you must detach yourself emotionally and objectively and observe his or her repetitive, predictable actions. If you can suppress your emotions long enough to study a narcissist objectively, you will be able to predict their reactions and triggers with uncanny precision. You may even be able to condition some of their behavior if you can accomplish the aforementioned objectives. You need not actively pursue narcissism to be a narcissist, however. You must because it is required. Could you use anything as a weapon to prevent your torment? Utilize their insecurities, such as their need to present a flawless image to the world, to your advantage. Determine what they want from you and how you can provide it while still obtaining what you need. What I envision is a steady drip of liquid. Obtain their cooperation by appealing to their baser desires and need for immediate gratification. Everything is possible, but only through meticulous planning. How probable is it that if I did this, someone would label me a narcissist? Possibly, though not necessarily. You are merely being cordial and do not intend any harm. It is merely a precaution to adopt in case the worst occurs. To clarify, you are not in fact harming them. In other words, recognizing the truth is the key to liberation. Enhance your mental and emotional fortitude. Instead of allowing them to torment you, exploit their strengths and use them against them. That is all I will say for the time being. Please let me know in the comments if you found this video instructive, and I'll see you in the next one. The time has come for restoration.